Presiding Officer, I start with governance reform.
Let go.
Madam Presiding Officer, good governance is undoubtedly the linchpin that holds a society together and determines the successful outcomes of its development efforts. In Tobago's case, one element of good governance is autonomy. That is, the right of Tobagonians to determine their social, economic, and political destiny. After nearly 60 years of independence and almost 42 years of the modern-day Tobago House of Assembly, it remains an irrefutable fact that the current constitutional and legislative arrangements that establish the government of Tobago and the government of Trinidad and Tobago deny us our autonomy. Actually, they take away our right to determine our social, economic, and political destiny without interference from the national government. The autonomy bills before the Parliament have been found to be woefully inadequate and were therefore comprehensively rejected by the majority of Tobagonians. Notably, there has been no legislative action on this critical issue for nearly a year now. And let me put the national community on notice, therefore, that this administration have taken steps and will take more steps, necessary steps, for the people of Tobago to be given their constitutional right to self-determination. To this end, for the first time in the history of the Tobago House of Assembly, Madam Presiding Officer, we have established as a standalone division the Office of the Deputy Chief Secretary. The office includes a Department of Intergovernmental Affairs with the principal responsibility to secure self-government for Tobago in the shortest possible time. Madam Presiding Officer, the first major gain from a sufficient level of autonomy is that it will allow Tobago to control and deploy its resources and plan its development in the context of the national economy wisely, in light of the relevant facts and without reference from the goings-on in the cabinet. The second major gain will be a greater focus on the national investment capacity on national economic diversification and development through Tobago. Some of this relates to proper boundaries for Tobago being recognized in the law, and some to the monetization of the oil and gas located in the seas around Tobago. This new THA administration has resolved to purposefully pursue legislative and regulatory changes towards a fair share revenue agreement associated with greater autonomy for the island. Given the recent discoveries of oil and gas in the waters around Tobago, it is time to return to the bargaining table to negotiate a new revenue sharing agreement between Tobago and Trinidad. I'm sure the Prime Minister cannot inaccurately, ever again, inaccurately say that all Tobago contributes is 200 and something million.
Never.
We are grateful for the template that the Dispute Resolution Commission has established and see the upper limit of 6.9% as a good starting point, but not a settled position.
No.
And I wish to advise my friends on the other side who have been saying that had we gotten the woefully inadequate island government bill, we would have gotten more money. I wish to advise that at this present moment, the law allows their colleagues in Trinidad to give us more money. 6.9%. And if they were so interested and love Tobago, it will be no problem to give us 6.9%. Therefore, Madam Presiding Officer, that 6.8% in their bill was a bluff. Therefore, this will be the starting point of our conversation with the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance in respect of Tobago's allocation for development spending in fiscal 2023. As a matter of fact, Tobago and Trinidad should advance the conversation to include consideration of a formula for sharing of natural resources, consensual exploration of these resources, and reward sharing. As part of the development of the Office of the Deputy Chief Secretary and this bold new push for greater autonomy, this division will negotiate our just dues through an energy bureau, and it will simultaneously rally the support of our large, intelligent, powerful, and influential diaspora living in Trinidad and elsewhere around the world. With regards to mobilizing our diaspora for the push for greater autonomy, one must appreciate that our efforts this round must be radically different from anything we have tried before. Yes. Tobagonians are frankly tired of the repetitive cycle of first, consultations in Tobago, second, ensuing public debates with the same leading voices, yes. Third, a proposed bill, and then fourth, rejection by the National Parliament. We have been trying this method since a P.T. James, and it has not resulted in the granting of a Tobago government structured the way we want. We are officially tired of the excessive talk and the lack of real action by the National Parliament. Sure. So, as we speak, efforts are underway to establish the first THA outpost in Port of Spain. Just as Scotland operating a Scotland House representing the government of Scotland at number 58 Victoria Embankment Temple in London, not in Cardiff, not in Scotland itself, but in London. I wish to announce in this house that there will be a Tobago house located on Pembroke Street, Port of Spain. We can't get our autonomy by staying in Tobago. No. We will take the time to educate our Trinidadian friends and family on this matter while pushing for the National Parliament to correct a colonial wrong. In other words, we will deliberately disrupt the national politics until they give us what belongs to us.